He's right there. Oh, oh, that's actually insane. That is so well done. Generic controlling the Dark Goes Moo here, back with another Game Theory FNAF video, and today I am doing FNAF, a Fragmented Memory, which is about Help 1 and 2, which is the most recent game, and this is also the most recent Game Theory FNAF video. Next week might be the Food Theory to FNAF Kill Chuck E. Cheese, but I literally just reacted to Matt Pat saying goodbye to the internet, and that's why my eyes are a little red, because as soon as I stopped recording that video, I broke down. I recorded that video like 20 minutes ago, and I just... Oh, one day that's going to be me, and that's going to be really sad. That video went live yesterday. It took the place of this. This video is going live on Thursday. You can check my reaction to that video. I'll leave it right up there. Also, link down below in the description. You can check out all my other Game Theory FNAF reactions there in a playlist on my channel, going in chronological order. They usually come out every single Wednesday, but I just figured I'd put that one in the Wednesday spot and move this one to Thursday. Patrons get all the videos there early. It allows me to have a Patreon channel. I do read all your comments whether you're a patron or not, whether you're subscribed or not, but I hope you are subscribed. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and hopefully I can make it just a tiny little better, and that video was... I've made thousands of videos, and that's probably one of the most difficult ones to keep like a straight, the dry eyes. It's hard. But let's go ahead and jump into FNAF, a Fragmented Memory, Help 1 and 2. I know nothing about Help 1 and 2, but let's go ahead and jump on into it. Whew. Man, that map video was rough. I know nothing about Help 1 and 2. An end, a beginning and an end, okay.
Covered in scars. He was so ashamed of his scars, he refused to look in a mirror. This lasted for so long. He eventually forgot they were ever there. Years passed until one day, this boy would come to the edge of a dark forest. There
I don't like
the
the
rabbit. He followed the rabbit as it scampered through the woods.
What is the story of?
Logs and around trees until he was eventually led to a beautiful flower. The scar-faced boy, now a grown man, plucked the flower to give to his daughter, but upon touching it, she died.
Is that okay? That's talking about baby.
And the man
Baby's the flower.
to the forest to play.
And that's the story
Hello,
of William
Internet.
Afton.
Welcome to Game Theory, the show that encourages you to be mask off. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to conclude the year of FNAF. With Tales from the Pizzaplex books releasing every 2 months, the Ruin DLC released back in July, and the FNAF movie happening in October,
I'm finally caught up.
2023
It's
really
crazy.
did feel like the classic days of FNAF all over again. But there was a new release happening every
Not
few
going anywhere in the
months. And
channel,
to
though.
end the year of FNAF on an insanely high note, Steelwall decided to pull one final trick out of the Scott Cawthon playbook. They released a second game within 6 months of Ruin. The completely unexpected but very exciting sequel to FNAF VR, Help Wanted. And let me tell you, they couldn't
what are we gonna
uncover
in this one?
Game at a more perfect time.
Why?
Because at a moment of peak frustration with the fan base, when Foxy, Stans, and Bonnie Bros had all collectively thrown up their hands in desperation, this game swooped in to deliver the answers that they so desperately needed. If the narrative of FNAF is kind of like a cracked piece of pavement constantly on the verge of crumbling into dust, this game was the cement filling in the crevices, patching up all the holes in the narrative just enough to give the whole thing a solid foundation again, at least for another couple of months. And I really do mean that. Not since FNAF 6 has there been a Freddy's game so determined to tie up loose ends and deliver answers to the lingering questions that have been piling up in the background. Basically, Help Wanted 2 single-handedly put a close on one major story arc, while also opening the door to another, a next generation. It's an ending and a beginning, all in one, depicting a cycle of violence that shows that you're never truly out of the woods when you're
Does that mean like we're officially out of the William Afton
the single most important game release in the last 6 years for this franchise. So today, we're gonna solve this game together to see what it's trying to tell us and where it's pointing the series moving forward. So grab your Faz wrenches and get ready to step into madness, theorists. Today, finally, we're gonna see what lies behind the mask. As the game opens, we're welcomed in as a new employee of the pizzeria.
Fazbear Entertainment is offering
I still want to get a VR setup.
Training position for a future pizza professional.
And after that short intro, we're immediately thrust into a pizzeria hub world full of training minigames, all while Helpy cheers us forward from his little projector in the corner. But very quickly, one question starts to rear its ugly head.
Why is that light over there?
Who are we playing as? Throughout the various mini-missions that we're presented with, one line that we hear repeated over and over again is, what makes you so special? 3 separate characters all bring it up. Moon, Baby, even Mystic Hippo.
Mystic Hippo?
You so special.
Okay, why do you sound like Shigaraki?
What makes you so special?
Considering everyone keeps asking us, we should probably have ourselves an answer ready for them, right? Well, we get a solid idea of who we might be thanks to plenty of explicit clues that are sprinkled throughout the game. First and foremost, we know that we're a Faz technician. Midway through the game, you unlock a Faz wrench that allows you to access a secret back area of the pizzeria. In that back room, there's a glowing tower that should look familiar to anyone who played through the Ruin DLC earlier this year. An inhibitor. Back in that game, these devices stopped you from being able to remove your AR-enabled Vanny mask. But that's silly. Why would that matter here? It's not like we're wearing a mask. Or are we? Sure enough, deactivating the tower allows you to reach up and remove the AR mask that's been stuck to your face since you first booted up the game.
That's
Suddenly,
so
you see that
cool.
this entire time you've been inside of a derelict pizzeria, worn down, decayed. And this isn't just any ruined pizzeria. It's
Wait,
the
you're
FNAF
playing as
6
Vanny?
location, complete with a recharge station and a Freddy spaghetti hole front and center. Not only is this just a fantastic mid-game twist that completely recontextualizes everything that you thought you knew about this game world, but it also helps confirm who we are and why we're down here.
Vanessa.
Us having a Vanny mask, it's weird, right? Like, who are we?
Well, I guess
Why
you do
would
have
we
one in
have
Ruin.
something like this in our possession? Well, it has to do with our job. In Ruin, Helpy tells us that these AR masks were worn to help technicians navigate through the destroyed pizzaplex. Now, when I first saw that in the game, I was convinced that it was a trick just to get us to wear the mask and teach us the mechanics of this new game. But here we are in Help Wanted 2 in a destroyed pizzaplex wearing a Vanny mask. And right there on the wall is a poster telling staff members to make sure they remove the mask at the end of the day. It proves that what Helpy was saying, at least in this moment, wasn't a trick. The mask is in fact a real tool that's used by Fazbear technicians, for as strange of a concept as that is. So we're a technician for the restaurant.
Something.
Sure, but that's not the only thing we know. Our next clue comes in the form of the Faz
I guess Vannies are like the helpers
this tool, which allows you access to the back area of the pizzeria. Upon unlocking it, the Mystic Hippo Carney booth says that the key is familiar to us.
Look at Mr. Gumball. Is it memory?
So we know that we're someone who's used this tool in the past. Immediately, that should bring to mind one person, Cassie's dad.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Or I think it might
introduced to a young girl.
Well, you know, yeah, her dad
who
worked
goes
there,
on a mission to rescue her friend Gregory from the destroyed remains of the derelict pizzaplex.
I think
along the way, she too
her grandfather might have been Bonnie Bro.
A Faz wrench. It's just like my dad's.
It's a pretty explicit connection there, and that's not all. In the Fazzer Blast arcade games and Help Wanted 2, we repeatedly hear the Carney say this.
Now, you look like you got kids.
Look like you got kids.
So we're a Faz tech who happens to be a parent. Cassie's dad is literally the only character we know who truly fits the bill. But so
yeah, that does make sense.
Big deal if we're playing as Cassie's dad. It's not all that interesting. And you heard what Moon said.
What makes you so special?
I cannot unhear Shigaraki.
In some way. And let me just make this perfectly clear. All dads are special, okay? They have very important roles in their kids' lives. That's something that makes him very special, at least in my book. But obviously, we're talking about FNAF.
Matt being a father of two.
Responsibility, not what these characters are referring to. In a theory that I posted a couple months ago, I proposed that Cassie's dad wasn't just any technician. Instead, he was none other than the Bonnie Bro.
I think
4. You know,
maybe
kid
his
that wears
dad.
The Bonnie mask who
That's
helps
my
Michael
theory.
Torture his crying brother to death. We know from Ruin's item descriptions that Cassie's dad's favorite character was Bonnie.
That's my
theory. In that game, we were also able to collect both an old school Foxy and Bonnie mask, which was an odd detail when you consider that there were no other OG animatronic masks present like Freddy or Chica that seemed to be referencing the masks that both Michael Afton and Bonnie Bro were wearing on that fateful day in 1983. Those details, coupled with a few other things, led us to the whole Bonnie Bro conclusion. But now that the full game's out, it certainly seems definitive that our theory was right.
But isn't it kind of crazy?
The end of Help Wanted 2, we're given the chance to light fires next to the gravestones of some very familiar missing
what is that?
Light them in a specific order, and you unlock a
just like the
chest. A chest that contains none other than that old Bonnie mask. When you collect it, we see the text, "This looks familiar."
Princess Quest?
It also unlocks an achievement called Lost Luggage. This right here, this was our mask. It was one that we thought was lost to time. But
the thing is, why does he think so positively of Bonnie if he witnessed a kid get murdered? He was an accomplice to a murder.
6 creepy voodoo doll plushies. Each
I
one
guess he's
hidden behind
manslaughter.
very explicit
Yeah, it's manslaughter because it's accidental.
In one, you go to Sister Location's private room and type in a very specific date. I bet you can guess what it is. 1983. And that year just keeps coming up. Multiple minigames take place during Fall Fest, which, in the previous VR Games DLC, was specifically called out as being in 1983. That is why we're considered special, because we were part of that fateful day. Because by killing the crying child, we sent William on a murderous rampage.
Why did they pick
It's
Bonnie?
a memory that we,
Why did they
as
pick up
Bonnie
Bonnie Bro?
have tried to repress.
Of all people.
That's not just me speculating. We know that Bonnie Bro has been actively trying to avoid these memories based on Mystic Hippo asking us this.
Do you remember?
It's also why when we collect one of the first secret voodoo plushies, we get a trophy in-game whose
Retrieve
description
a memory?
reads, Retrieve a memory. Basically, by playing this game and getting these secret objects, we're forcing ourselves to confront memories that we've buried deep in our psyche. We're coming to terms
I guess
with the
that
trauma
makes
of our past. We're accepting it as something that happened that cannot be changed.
But
only
don't you think the Bonnie
which
mask would like
brings us
trigger
to
it?
the game's ending.
You know,
if you play through the game normally just by completing
if you
the
had a
various
Faz
mini
wrench
games
and all
Helpy
that?
tasks you with, you eventually unlock the 6 members of the Faz Force, the FNAF universe version of the Transformers, because let's face it, at this point, FNAF has literally parodied every IP known to mankind. Once you complete the collection, the lights flicker, and suddenly a
I'm waiting for
charging station
JoJo's,
appears, which opens up to reveal the hand of our
Five
dear
Nights at
friend
Freddy's.
Glitchtrap. Another
God.
flash, suddenly the nightmare
He's
staff
right there.
bots
Oh,
appear, attacking
oh.
him. Glitchtrap has won. He's tricked us. He's used Cassie's dad's love of collectibles against him. Much like the tapes in Help Wanted 1, these
free
action
him.
figures contained parts of him, his memories,
And you rebuild
his essence.
him,
By gathering
and
them
then
all
he always
together,
comes
we've
back.
once again made Glitchtrap whole. With Princess Quest being the canon ending in Security Breach, it means that Glitchtrap lost his hold over Vanessa. He needed himself a new helper, so he lured us in, the last human employee remaining, and got us to put the pieces back together to reawaken him. The cycle once again repeats. That's why we see him reaching out of the charging station, just like during the Burn Trap ending. He has enough strength to reawaken, to take control, and it's
He just
only
will not
then
go away.
the staff bots show up to kill us. But things aren't
Where are
quite
they at
done
this
yet.
entire time?
After our death, we change
Just up
perspective into
here?
the eyes of a staff bot. And
You
not
become
just
a staff
any
bot,
staff
and then
bot.
you
Specifically,
see-
we're looking through the eyes of the one who tells Cassie to take a mask at the beginning
Oh,
of Security
wait,
Breach
what?
Ruin.
Wait.
Take a mask.
It would seem
Take
like
a
we've been
mask.
absorbed into the system. Our consciousness is now part of this map bot. We're trapped inside of it, forced to execute its commands. In the ultimate of ironies, the mask that we were using to try and stop Glitchtrap becomes
Is
the
the
mask
one-
that we now give our daughter as map bots. This is then what results in her getting that occipital implant. This is how Helpy gets into her mind, and this is eventually how the mimic gets free. To me, the way that you get this ending,
Did he
it's
know that would
very
happen?
symbolic. By not
That's
accepting our
actually
past,
insane.
by ignoring
That
and
is
repressing
so
the
well
scars of our
done.
past actions, by not unlocking
That is
all
how
those
you
memory
tie
plushies,
together
we've
several
passed our
games.
mistakes forward, and in the process, we managed to doom our own daughter. Bonnie Bro didn't just ruin the life of one child, he wound up ruining 2. Our actions
Even
have,
his own
in
daughter.
short, single-handedly prompted the events of ruin. But hold on, I just
Insane.
kind of glossed over a big detail there. We're attacked by a bunch of corrupted staff bots, and then suddenly we're in MapBot? How? It's kind of a big leap there, you know? Well, at first, I thought that we were just scanned into the system. The Mimic AI scanned our brains while we were wearing the Vanny mask.
why
and
does he
boom,
have
we're now
control?
Stuck as part of the AI program running the whole Pizzaplex. But looking closer at the details, I think there's actually another explanation here. When you look at the map bot through the Vanny mask in Ruin, it looks different from all the other staff
It
bots that you
looks
encounter in the game. It looks
like they're stuffed to
more
human.
organic. You can actually see
Yeah.
what appears to be a brain stuffed inside of its head. Compare
That's
that to
not
how
good.
every other staff bot looks under that same AR lens, and it's completely different. Why would that be, though? Well, it would appear as though our brain, or at the very least our organic matter, was stuffed inside of these robotic suits. It's part of what's powering
But,
this
like, did you
particular
really need to
box.
do
But again,
that?
I ask, why?
If
This
that was
seems
part
to
of
be
your
such
plan,
a
couldn't you just
random
program a
detail.
computer to
Until
do
you
the same
remember what a
actions?
computer brain would be learning from studying Afton's behavior. Afton stuffs his victims into animatronic suits. That's what he did during the missing children's incident. It's what we see Glitchtrap doing at the end of Help Wanted 1, and apparently it's what he did to Bonnie Bro. He stuffed him into
That's-
MapBot here. For a while, there's been a lot of confusion about the true nature of Glitchtrap. Is it a virus? Is it Afton in the Mimic AI? Was Burn
I don't
Trap the
know.
Mimic? It's largely been left unclear. But now I
He's
actually
everything.
think this ending is trying to give us an answer. In the books, they make it explicitly clear that there are at least 2 mimics threatening the Pizzaplex. First, there's a physical mimic that's buried down
And then
in the
there's the
basement
computer.
that physically walks around and is able to kill people. Then there's
That
the
you free.
second version, a more general AI program that's eventually able to get installed to run the entirety of the Pizzaplex and is able to control and corrupt all the animatronics that work there. Is this confusing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it frustrating? Most definitely. But I also
Or
now
did they
see
just
what
not
were
write
going
themselves
for
into
with
a
the
corner?
storyline. Remember how an AI works? You train it by feeding it situational data, and the data that goes in directly influences how it's going to behave moving forward. There's
Just like
even
humans,
an example of this
almost.
with the Endo Daycare minigame in Help Wanted 2. You're teaching
Is
an
this a
AI
bunch of
program how to
minigames?
behave. Good data going in gives you good behavior. Bad data going in gives you chaotic behavior. In the
Oh.
books, we see the basement AI being trained up with a simple code. Rip off all the arms and legs of things that look humanoid. And it does this over and over again in epilogue after epilogue to each and every one of our teenage protagonists. The data that the basement AI was trained up on was simple and it was non-specific.
Also, we haven't seen Stitch Wraith in a while.
Exactly what it was told. Ripped off all those limbs. Now compare that to the Pizzaplex AI. This was trained using a lot more data. It was told to copy the behavior of actual humans. And so it learned coded languages. It learned a wider series of gestures and behaviors. It learned how to play games and hang up clothing. It was far more sophisticated. So by having two different versions of the Mimic in the books, what we're really seeing are different ways that an AI can be trained up and how the behavior spins off of that. So how does that all apply to the games? Well, in Ruin, there's a key moment on the catwalks of Monty Gator Golf that show two entities working together, but also acting separately, as they're able to argue against each other. Helpy says, I took care of the situation, to which the Mimic responds, they're cut from the same cloth. They both started as the Mimic program, but they've evolved.
Oh wait, Helpy is a Mimic,
and based
but
on all
just
of that,
with good
I suspect
information?
That the Mimic Cassie runs
so
from at the end of
scary.
Ruin is a parallel for the book's basement AI, a simpler, older system that uses Gregory's voice to talk to us throughout Ruin. This one just exists and executes two simple goals: kill things and escape.
Escape.
But then there's the Pizzaplex AI. I suspect that this is the more sophisticated system. This is the
And
one
that's why it's not
trained
locked
up
in the basement.
on Afton's data specifically.
Maybe the
It's
other one
one
was
that
the first
embodies
attempt.
itself as Glitchtrap, but
That
it's also
didn't
the one
go
that
well.
speaks to us in the
So then they
form
made a
of
new one.
Helpy. And we know this to be true because of what we see throughout Help Wanted 2. In this one game, the AI is drawing from pretty much every past animatronic, including characters like Scrap Baby and
Just
Lefty,
shoot them
which are
away.
odd pulls considering they're characters that were never put on display for the public. These were characters that only existed for the fake pizzeria made to entrap Afton in FNAF 6. So the fact that the system here knows about them means that they had to have come from Afton's mind. It's also why in the Helpy Hospital minigames, we see a kid's drawing of a burning pizza restaurant with Helpy running away. That's how Afton was able to escape and live on. His consciousness
running away
was
from a
contained
burning
within
building.
the Helpy AI, which was able to survive the FNAF 6 fire. And remind me again, who is the one that encourages us to play these minigames throughout Help Wanted 2? The
Helpy.
minigames that lead to the collection of the Faz Force toys, which ultimately give us the bad ending. Oh yeah,
What is the good
Helpy.
ending?
And not just any Helpy either. Helpy spelled with an I. That spelling
that?
detail actually matters.
Why?
You see, the name of the
Is there another
physical
Helpy?
animatronic Helpy, it's spelled Helpy. But in
But the
Ruin,
I
that digital neural implant
as like
Helpy
AI.
is spelled Helpy. And once you know it, in the game files for Help Wanted 2, the Helpy on the projector screen is once again spelt with an I. This is Glitchtrap, the Mimic program trained up on Afton's data.
And
He's
it can
yet again trying to put the
impersonate?
pieces
That's
back
crazy.
together. And by completing his tasks and unlocking the Faz Force, you help him to succeed. He's now
But
back
couldn't
in
he just
full
program a
control
robot
of the
to do
Pizzaplex, ready for Ruin, ready to create a new servant in Cassie to finish what Vanessa started. But if I've learned anything from Steel Wool, it's that you can't always trust the first ending you see. Remember that
What is
creepy
the other
plushie
ending?
that we unlocked earlier? Well, there are 6 of them in total, each one unlocked via a seemingly random series of actions. Put a code into the whack-a-mole game backwards. Make a weird soda mixture only during a complete electrical shutdown of the factory. Shoot a random
How do you
rocket ship
find
during
that
various
out?
Phaser Blast minigames until you get to FNAF 2, at which point you pop balloon recreations of the animatronics to unlock a final boss battle against a cutout of Springtrap. Like I said, these get bizarre and they get convoluted in a hurry. But the main thing you need to know about them is that by collecting them, you unlock a glitched coin that allows you to play the 4th and final version of Princess Quest's arcade cabinet. At first, it plays just like your normal Princess Quest minigame. You swing your sword, you kill the glitchy bunnies, you collect the keys.
Yeah,
simple,
and you-
at least until
lanterns
it's
and
not.
all that.
You open a door and you suddenly find yourself standing next to someone playing an arcade
And that's
cabinet.
you.
Next thing you
You're
know,
inside
the
the
princess
game.
is standing there
What?
in the room with you.
Did he know?
Kidding me? Oh, this is nuts.
The real
Alpha,
world and the
take it.
digital
What?
world are leaking into each other. Reach into the screen, grab your sword, and suddenly you are the princess.
Who's the princess
But-
now?
Glowing sword in hand, we fight our way
Oh
through
my-
the glitchy
yeah,
bunnies
first
until we
person
get to
Princess
Old Red
Quest?
King. We give him our Vanny mask, and in return, he gives us the Glitchtrap plushie from Help Wanted 1. And this is where
This
things
is
go
so
really
complex
off the
and it's
rails.
great.
Out of nowhere, the sister location elevator appears. Hop in, and suddenly it takes us inside of a giant claw machine with a giant Vanny staring in at us. We offer up the Glitchtrap plushie, revealing the true Glitchtrap. She crushes him and then fades into darkness.
Why?
Doing so unlocks a trophy named Consequences. The description reads, system threats found, repair complete. So
now you're in a
what was all
claw
that?
machine?
Well, actually, it seems
Yeah,
pretty
what was that about?
explicit.
Why?
Glitchtrap was the system threat. By crushing him, he's been deleted and the wider AI system's been repaired. We won! Except, is that possible? Didn't I just
Is
say
it?
that the other ending showed us the start of Ruin? For that game to exist, which we know it does, Glitchtrap has to survive here. So is this secret ending not canon then? Just a cool reveal of no
I guess it's
substance?
just kind of like
No,
a
actually, I
trip
don't
down
believe
memory
so.
lane,
For
maybe?
the first time ever in this franchise's history, I, Matt Pat, believe that both endings endings are canon. Let me explain. I do think that we're destroying Glitchtrap in the Vanny ending, but
maybe that's just
not exactly
one version
sure
of
it's a
them.
system-wide removal.
Yeah.
Instead, I suspect that this ending is
One of
specifically
many.
about Vanessa herself. We've known since the original Help Wanted that Vanessa, Glitchtrap, and Princess Quest have all been inextricably connected. For those of you who don't remember, the Princess Quest minigame originated back in the 2D version of Help Wanted, where they needed the game to replace the original mechanic of piecing together the missing 16 tapes from Tape Girl. Here, we watch as Vanessa, the princess, falls victim to Glitchtrap. In Security Breach, you beat Princess Quest 3, which shows Glitchtrap being defeated and Vanessa walking out of the Pizzaplex freed, leaving the Vanny mask behind. So the fact that we're now playing Princess Quest again tells me that we're not fighting to remove Glitchtrap from the Pizzaplex system. Instead, we're yet again fighting specifically to free Vanessa. These games have always been about Vanessa and Glitchtrap. I wouldn't expect 4 to deviate from that pattern. Even my old buddy Candy Cadet's trying to tell us that this game is about finishing Vanessa's story. Throughout Help Wanted 2, you collect coins that can then be traded to Candy Cadet for pieces of a story. His second one tells about a young woman that's been lured in by a friendly voice, only for it to have been a witch that tries to eat her.
Now let me tell you a story about a young woman who, when she was little, was led into a dark forest by a witch.
I don't know why she trusted that.
Almost she manages to escape, but she's permanently scarred in the process. When she's older, she returns and is met by a young boy who offers to help.
When
Gregory?
she had grown, she sought revenge on the witch.
Why?
And entered the forest again.
Why would you come back for seconds?
Of the forest by a young boy who offered to
That's
help
a trap.
guide her through the darkness.
That's a trap.
She welcomed the help and followed the young boy over the river, through the jagged trees, and toward a small house. She followed the boy into the house. The oven door closed. The witch would finally have her.
Yeah, there we
This
go.
right here, this is Vanessa's
Call an ambulance,
story.
but not for me.
She was lured in by what she thought was a friendly voice, Tape Girl, telling her to gather the tapes to stop Glitchtrap.
And then
only for
Glitchtrap takes
to
over.
then take control. She does escape, but is permanently scarred by this. She has the Glitchtrap virus inside of her. It's not in full control,
And then
but
she
it's
becomes
definitely
Vanny.
there, which is what we hear about in the emails from FNAF AR and the retro CDs from Security Breach.
I compartmentalized him. He's locked away.
She had compartmentalized him. He wasn't in full control, at least not yet. She then comes back to try to kill Glitchtrap herself, but runs into a young boy who seems like he's gonna help her, only to lure her deeper under Glitchtrap's control. By the time she transfers to the Pizzaplex, Vanessa's tone has changed in her therapy tapes.
I'm needed somewhere.
This has gotten so complex.
We see the same thing in the FNAF AR emails. She's no longer in control. Glitchtrap has completely taken over, and it's all thanks to the only little boy that we know of, Gregory. Thanks to his retro CDs, we know that he was meeting a person in a
retro
CDs.
You're talking to someone or something. It's hard to tell. What are those things? They almost look like rabbit ears.
Gregory is a villain. At the very least, he was at some point in the story. That is clear.
Maybe that's why he was
Between
created.
This Candy Cadet story, GGY, and the fact that he was clearly working with Vanny before the events of Security Breach, he is not on our side. He was the one that helped Glitchtrap to take full control of Vanessa, right up until the end of Security Breach. Even cut lines of dialogue from Help Wanted 2 seem to support our conclusion here. These voice lines come directly from Vanessa, and they tell us the following, quote, "You need to listen to me
he's supposed to be the crying child?
Escape. It's using you to finish where she left off. Only a small piece of his code remains." Vanessa is back to being more in control, but she knows that a small part of him remains. The Glitchtrap plushie that started it all back in Help Wanted. We also get lines like, "The memories are freed. Use the token. Bring him to me." Referencing the memory plushies that we're collecting, the glitched Princess Quest token, and then being told to bring the plushie to her so that she can crush it herself once and for all. Destroying Glitchtrap inside her mind allows that other persona, Vanny, to finally fade into darkness. Vanessa is truly free. And we know this to be true because after this ending, when you go back to the main hub screen, he's gone. Replaced by a boy claiming that the Fazbear pizza tastes like real cheese.
The cheese is so real.
Even tastier is the fact that Helpy's been purged. Glitchtrap is gone. At least he's gone from this version of the program. And you see, this is what I meant.
You can replay the game and it changes. That's so cool. The replayability.
The end of Vanessa's story. And with it, the end of this current era of FNAF, from Help Wanted 1 to Help Wanted 2. Let's call it the Vanessa arc. She's no longer a part of this story. Her battle's over. We saved her completely. But in closing out her story, the cycle also repeats.
And then
Yet
Cassie
again,
is
we
the
have
next
ourselves an innocent girl, this time named Cassie, being lured in by a seemingly friendly voice. Great.
Turns out to be
but
the
in
mimic.
reality, it's all a trap. Thanks to that occipital implant, she now has Helpy as a part of her mind, just like
And
Vanessa
Helpy
did with
is
Glitchtrap. And now
Glitchtrap,
she's wearing the mask more and more
freed.
frequently, again like Vanny. In short, it's been passed on. Cassie is just Vanessa 2.0. Gone is the era of Vanessa and Glitchtrap. Long live Cassie and the Mimic AI. At this point, the only question is, what's it truly gonna take to break
is Glitchtrap actually gone?
for all? But hey,
I mean, eventually I gotta change the story a little bit.
Lore and winning all these prizes.
What do we got? El Chip? Head chef box. Great, that's what I always wanted.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure you guys had a chance to win some prizes of your very
own.
own. In fact, there's actually a chance to win $10,000.
That'd be nice.
It's all thanks to our sponsor for today's episode, SoFi. If you don't already know,
there's
SoFi
music
is
playing
the
in the
all-in-one
background.
personal
I'm so
finance
sorry.
app
I've heard
that allows
amazing
you
things
to
about
bank,
SoFi.
borrow, and invest all in one.
I've invested in SoFi, actually, personally. I don't know. I've just heard so many good things. Sometimes he plays copyrighted music in the background for this ad reads. I hate skipping ad reads. I would play them, but I've literally had issues with them in the past when Matt would talk about a sponsor and he would play copyrighted music and they don't copyright claim it until the moment the video goes live. It'll be at the end of the video, it'll be 20 minutes into the video. The video is public for 3 minutes. That part is already flagged and copyrighted 3 minutes after the video is posted. I don't play those reindeer games. Shout out to SoFi. I've heard amazing things about them. I have not personally used them. And I have invested a little bit of my retirement into SoFi stock, but oh man, I guess this was originally going to be the FNAF Kill Chuck E. Cheese, but with Matt coming out with the he's leaving video, and I just recorded that video, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna do the final Game Theory FNAF that he's uploaded to get completely caught up. So this video went live on Thursday. The other video went live yesterday on Wednesday. Moved things around a little tiny bit. Game Theory is going nowhere on the channel. It's still going to be around Minecraft lore, all that fun stuff. I have so many videos to watch through, especially through all the 4 channels, so definitely stay around for that. I hope you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos as we approach 100,000 subscribers. I said it's going to be the first time I cry on camera is going to be 100,000 subscribers, and Matt tested me. Oh, Matt tested me. But I look forward to reading your comments, and I look forward to reacting to these final videos. Like, this one is, I guess, one of his final 10 videos or 9 videos, so I look forward to what's going to come next and all the videos I have to react to, and I hope to see you there. Shout out to the patrons, but until next video, take care, and cue the music.
We were playing